Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make a Fallout video on my Nordhagen Beach Resort. It's probably one of the settlements I don't really build much. I don't really like to build here, but it's actually turned out to be pretty nice. I'm also not a scrappy builder. I like to have a more modern look, but I've kind of forced myself to try and use the warehouse pieces, or rather I think they're called the barn house pieces. So I've got a combination of all. I use glass and I use some of those, but it kind of turned out okay. I always kind of surprise myself when I do these builds and then it turns out better than I expect, and each time I do it, it gets better, right? So looks like Katie's photobombing me there, right? So I also apologize for my audio if it's down. I know the last couple of videos my headset was a lot of static and things like that, so I'm trying to use the internal microphone here, and hopefully you have a better audio. So let's get started. Let me just get rid of this HUD here quickly. Okay, so let us go and take a look. Now, surprisingly, I haven't been attacked yet, so I was expecting to have a whole bunch of super mutants show up, and no one's actually.
Hey, what is it? Wait there.
Leaving me behind.
Put her there.
It's your funeral.
You know, just got a couple of towers on the side there. As entering the resort here, I've got a couple of buildings at the top. I have a sort of marketplace at the bottom. I've turned this house into just a little area, which has kind of been useful in a way if you're doing a lot of sort of pillar glitches to move stuff around. This building becomes invaluable to do that. But as you can see, I've surrounded it with some picket fences. I can still access the workshop, and also I have a hidden bed just behind all these sort of trees there. But that's kind of made it a kind of neat little area. Also, the door was shut if the guard rings the bell. So if I hit the siren, the door will automatically shut. And that'll lock down the actual settlement. Now that's just done by a little logic gate here. It's very easy to hook up. I think it's just a NAND gate, but I do have a video kind of. I've kind of simplified it in this settlement. I know the video I did was more complicated, and I was following another video on how to do this, but I've kind of simplified that in a way where you just need one gate and just a couple of switches, one switch and your siren. Anyway, if you want to know more about that, we can certainly take a look at that. So it's kind of the main gate area. I do have a whole bunch of generators in the walls here. I've marked them with electrical, with a little bit sticking out, so if they do need repair, you can do them. If you do need to switch them off and on, you can actually do that. Sometimes the lights will stop working. I have a lighthouse in the background. You can just see it over the top there, and sometimes, as you know, those spotlights that I have there will actually stop working. So I have a generator just for that lighthouse. I can switch it off and on, and I've got him wired all through the walls all the way back here, so I don't have to go up there or do anything crazy like that, right? So
back hurts, feet hurt.
So just kind of starting on the left here, we have a little grow up area where I kind of started the whole settlement.
Work to do. Can't talk now.
Some slot machines for these guys, a Brahmin sort of eating area. This turned out to be a nice little Brahmin eating area. All these grass hays are from the Nuka World DLC, so it kind of makes it quite nice in terms of that. I have a little cooking area, if you will. Some little rooms for the settlers to sleep in. Now that house sort of on the left hand side is kind of a hotel. It's the inn, if you will. I do have some rooms there. I have an armory on the top right there. We'll get into that. But let's start with the marketplace. These steps here are pretty easy to create. They just step down. Again, I have another video on how to do that, but relatively easy to create. I normally use the ramps from the Voltec, but I'm trying to move away from those a little bit. Although now I'm doing these steps too often, I might tend to move back to those ramps because otherwise my settlements kind of look similar. Okay, some lights in the stairs. Yeah, you can kind of glitch into the stairs. Those look kind of cool. I saw one of those in Jug's videos. A little armor area, yeah. Okay, so this is sort of my merchant area. I have some barn doors to make it more realistic so that the Brahmin can walk through. I kind of just had regular doors and some steps up there, but that didn't make sense. But this makes sense. So I have two little doors here, and then the Brahmin, and I have some of these trader stations. If you do the bunker your missions, you can get these trader stations, and then you can have basically Carla and Cricket and the doctor come visit you, which is kind of useful if you're looking for extra supplies, or if the doctor's gone missing, then you can get the doctor to repair your illness, right? So it's just kind of a little marketplace I turn this into. I have a power grid on the roof here, which is kind of cool if you're doing like sort of like flat building type settlements. Build yourself a power grid, and then what you can do is you can just hook into it. So if you look at the top of this one, I removed the long pole and I just hooked into a conduit, and I'm powering each one of these doors whenever I need to. So it kind of makes things easier. If you know how to do the wire glitch, you can pull wire through the roof and stuff if you need to do that. And I recently discovered how to do the wireless wire grip, which completely wireless, no wires. All you need is a conduit. So I do have a video on that as well that explains it. Paul from the school zone presented it, but he didn't go too deep into it as much as I'd like, but check out his channel as well. But also talk a little bit about it. Yeah, just have a little doctor store here.
If you need it. Or a small fee.
Some beds, some lights. Okay, all these counters are glitched into the stations here, so you can actually put stuff on top of it. I've got a cashier or teller on top. Got some lights in there. Kind of gives it a different look. Okay, a little general store over here. A dresser, tailor with a machine, so you can make your tailor some clothes. It's a little difficult to get this big machine in this little room here, but if you try enough, you can actually get in. I can put a storage at the end, which I'd normally do, but that table's fine. In this case, again, same counters, different look. Again, I try to use different looks for each store. I use the warehouse pieces here, combination of warehouse and the barn pieces. Same year. This one's some Nuka World's animals. Just quickly on this side, I have some more rooms for the settlers. Little open glass view on that one. Now the power, I have the power for this one coming through the roof here. You can just kind of have it go through the roof. So kind of sort of a nice merchant sort of marketplace, if you will. And down at the bottom here I have my first bar. I have two bars. Again, I saw a couple of ideas from someone else that did something similar. He did kind of a neat job on this. I like that concept. Some beers on the counters. Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff doesn't stay in place. I don't use any mods. There's absolutely no mods in this. I don't like using mods. Unfortunately, none of the stuff actually stays on the shelf. Built myself a fridge. Saw somebody else do a much bigger fridge, and I just kind of downsized it and created myself a fridge. It's a little tricky to do this fridge, but it's a cool concept if you aren't using mods. You know, I use just the regular shelf here, and you sort of pillar glitch So these weapon racks on the side and the lights on top. It's a little tricky to do. Again, I have a video on me trying that. I've got better at doing it, and the fridges look a little bit different each time I do it. But you know, you kind of want to have a wall behind it to hook that light on. The light's probably the hardest to get on the top, but kind of turns into a really cool little fridge. I like it. Okay, a couple of stoves, some shelves, some liquor on the shelves, a coffee pot. You know,
Yes.
typical bar area that makes food and drinks, and kind of a restaurant type area. Okay, so more steps here. Have a little outdoor area, little beach area. So I still use the beach because obviously if you're going to create a beach resort, and Nordhagen's probably one of the best beaches, or if not the only one. And then I have a whole bunch of generators or water generators underneath here. Okay, a lighthouse. Again, I saw another person do this. Pretty cool concept. Unfortunately, you can't build steps inside. I would have loved to have built a way to climb up. You know, it'd be cool if we had ladders in the games that we could actually use and get to the top quite easily. Unfortunately, you know, without building, maybe if you built it square, but then it just doesn't look the same, right? So just down, I have all these angles and or pathways down to the beach area, different areas. Okay, so let's head up to the top, and we'll start at the inn. I'll show you what the inn looks like. So look, again, it's a nice area, yeah. I'll give you a nighttime view of this. It kind of looks pretty cool at nighttime as well. Okay, so this is the Nordhagen Inn. There's just a little inn area, check-in area. Area, pool table, little kitchen area. That's my armory just across the way there. Okay, so let's head upstairs. The first floor has the rooms. So I have 4 rooms on this floor. They're all a little bit different. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one has a little bathroom in it. Some are a little better with their own individual ensuite bathrooms with running water, which I thought was kind of cool. You get Kate pumping that water sometimes, which is kind of cool. I even had it doing it by itself, which I figured it would turn into a ghost resort. A little smaller room. This is kind of a T-shaped room, but I was managed to turn this little T-shape here into a little bathroom, so a little ensuite bathroom here. The other side is just
Anything I can do? You just say the word.
yeah. This is just a smaller room, no ensuite.
Life in the Commonwealth.
Okay, another, probably the largest of the rooms, has a large ensuite bathroom here. Sitting area in the bathroom even.
Folks are just looking for a hand.
Little TV as well in the bathroom. And the last room, similar to kind of one of the other rooms. So that's where all the guests would stay. You could rent a room.
Never lacks for excitement.
And then also have a penthouse suite right on the top of the inn. Premium guests. So I have a second bar area here, which is managed by Piper.
What's the angle here?
Nice day. Where are we headed?
Squeeze through there. Let's go from the other side, otherwise I'll knock everything off. Okay, another fridge here. Okay, a little bit different.
Let me know if there's anything I can do to lighten the load. Or, you know, if you need anything proofread.
Beers on the
Anything I can do?
counters.
You just say the word.
Oh, Piper clean up. Okay, some more slot machines. This is kind of a cool area. I used these kind of tables. Turned out really kind of cool, very smooth looking. Now I have two access points to the penthouse. You can go up there from the deck, and also have an indoor with a door that actually closes. The penthouse suite, yeah.
Never thought a reporter could consider themselves a success until someone threatened their life. Me? I'm very successful.
I really like those look of those tables. And you just put them next to each other and they kind of join seamlessly. You don't actually have to carpet glitch them or anything. Yeah, there's a kind of a view of the lighthouse.
Most
View
folks
downstairs.
can. All we gotta do is offer.
Little deck area, little covered deck area. You can sit here. Great views of all around, obviously.
Most folks are just looking for a hand.
Down at the bottom. Okay, let's take a look at the armory here. So again, at this point I kind of learned about the wireless switches. So a lot of the stuff is all wireless. So there's a switch on the ground here, kind of hidden behind the line here. All these kind of conduits are all wireless in this building. I don't think I have any wires, or very few anyway. Which is kind of cool. You don't have to have wires going all over, but sometimes wires may give it character, so I wouldn't not use wires, because I think I do like the look of wires, but some people don't like wires at all. Okay, and that switch is wireless as well, so there's no wires. There's no wires on this fountain, so I've just got a wireless conduit there on the side of these buildings, and all throughout some of these things you'll just see these all wireless conduits are just
You just say the word.
sitting there. Now the biggest thing about those wireless conduits, whatever the source you take from, if you delete that original conduit, you'll lose all your connections. So you don't. It's quite easy to do. So this is the armory area. So I have a robot workbench, little iBot in the corner here, table. Unfortunately, you can't really put anything in these display cases. I had some guns, but they just fall through as soon as you leave the settlement. That's unfortunate. This dress from that woman at Good Neighbor. You can need perks. You can steal it from her. It's pretty sexy naked as well. Okay, a little gun rack here with larger weapons. certain area. And then I have a sleeping area just above. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I think we covered all the areas. Let me see if I can give you a night view of the place. Actually, if you want to, let me show you, give you a quick closer look of the lighthouse. The weather's changing yet. I just have sort of a little room at the top with some spotlights, those security spotlights. It actually gives it quite a nice look at night. Let me go sleep and then you'll get a better look. Better weather. I also have these legendary free fall legs. If you don't have them and you're building high resorts, very useful. They are hard to get hold of, but they are static, which means they are fixed in an area. There's a whole bunch of videos. I also have a video on it. You just have to learn to climb backwards on the wall. I tried the power armor to get them. Oxhorn does a video on the power armor, and I've got a couple of links in my video for one guy doing it in the power armor way. He does a much better job at explaining than Oxhorn does. And then another guy that kind of explains the walking backwards with the trash can. So that's ultimately how I got mine. Definitely worthwhile doing. You don't have to walk around in power armor, and if you fall, I can tell you, totally worthwhile to get them, at least for me, prior to building this resort. I've fallen so many times, and you can just kind of jump down and not have to worry about dying and losing all your progress. Definitely check it out and get them if you don't have them. There are another set of legs called acrobat legs, which aren't legendary, that you can kind of find around if you're lucky enough. I actually found them. I don't know where they are, but they allow you to do something similar. And if you're really struggling, you can't get the legendary ones, there's acrobat ones which you might actually run into and use instead. So again, just kind of walking through here with all the lights, and that gives it kind of a nice look, very cozy feel.
Did the machine just say degenerate? Yes?
We need to get back to Diamond City one of these days. This town I have a song.
Bedroom area.
Nights like this, a warm spot with a cold beer would be heaven.
Huh? Huh?
What's the angle here?
Easy living? This ain't.
Ain't looking for trouble, I hope.
You hear about that farm run by ghouls? Isn't that something?
Those turret towers are all wireless. The turrets at the top are actually wired to the platform, but the actual power running to the bottom is all wireless.
Themselves a success until someone threatened their life. Me? I'm very successful.
Another day of hard work. Never changes.
It really lights up at night. Looks really cool at night. Even with this old barnhouse building with all the windows and that, looks really cool. Really dope with being able to see inside. I don't normally build with those pieces, but it's actually turned out quite nicely.
Haha, win again.
If you guys have any comments or like I said, this is a no mod build, not a single mod in here. I don't like mods. Everything is done vanilla. I have all the DLC, so you might see pieces. If you don't have all the DLC, you might see pieces that
The only way you get old in this job?
you might not have, but they're all vanilla. There's nothing here that you shouldn't be able to get. I do use the carpet glitch to get stuff in place. I do use the true wire glitch is what we call, and also the invisible wire glitch. But I still use wires. I think it makes sense that a resort has wires still in there. As you can see, I've got wires. Yeah, I mean, you could use that, get rid of those wires if you wanted, but I don't see the point.
Yeah?
From the outside. I will be posting some pictures, so if you prefer to look at pictures, sometimes if you're trying to do something, it's easier to look at through pictures. I'll see if I can post the link once I've got those up. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please hit the like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Here we go. My luck's gonna turn around.
is honest work.
These pieces are just from the Vault-Tec. These poles from the Vault-Tec DLC. A platform at the top.
Crop's coming in pretty good.
Yes? Farming's as honest work gets.
Can't remember the last time I had clean fingernails.
Huh?
Out here, you gotta take things one day at a time.
Ain't looking for trouble, I hope.
Got a dangerous look about you. Hope you ain't here for me.
And that was Frankie Carl there. Well, I mean, I guess.
Crop's been growing pretty good lately.